Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, The Town Watch. My name is Josh Town. Thank you for stopping by today. I feel like this is a special video because I have a watch from HELM. I hear that these are pretty hard to get, so how did I get one? Well, I have to start off by saying a big shout out to one of my subscribers. His name is Chris. He actually said, hey, I want you to take a peek at this watch, Josh, before I even get it. So it is his watch. He hasn't even seen it in his hands yet, but he wanted me to check it out on my channel. So I really appreciate that, Chris. This very watch was also on Aaron Dunlop's channel as well, OFD over there. So you can check out his video as well. He actually had this watch before me and sent it to me, and then I'll be shipping it to Chris so he can finally get it in his own hands. But really appreciate that, Chris, very much. So I'm excited because I've heard a lot of wonderful things about HELM. I've liked what I've seen. They seem to make amazing dive watches for the money, and so I'm excited to show you this one today. You can see it comes with this little sleeve over the box. I'll just set that to the side for now, and you can see the HELM box right here with their logo, nicely done, kind of navy blue center here. And this is not a full review, but kind of just a quick overview video for today. Get some information here in this envelope about the watch itself, some warranty information and whatnot. And then here is the watch right here, nicely presented in this box. This is the HELM Miyako or Miyako. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it correctly, but here it is in all of its glory on a nice black and gray NATO strap, as you can see. But it's also got a nice stainless steel bracelet included as well. So we'll take a peek at the bracelet here in a moment. But here it is. Pretty good looking little diver from HELM. Finished very well. And I've handled it a little bit before, so some of my fingerprints are on the watch here. But the finishing, the polishing, look at the polishing on the sides of this case. It's absolutely gorgeous. And look at that bezel, beautiful coin edge there. The first thing that I was drawn to on this watch was actually the bezel and how it's domed, and that is actually a sapphire insert there on the bezel. So I'm just going to go over just a few of the specs and features. We'll get some live dimensions with the calipers here in a moment. I'll throw it on my wrist, and we'll also get a wrist shot. And then toward the end, I'll share some of my likes and dislikes about this piece in this quick overview video. So it is a solid stainless steel case, 316L stainless steel. The movement that they're using in this watch is the Miyota 9015, and you can see that there is a date right there, kind of in between the 4 and 5 o'clock position. And it does have a nice matching date wheel, and the color of the date as well matches the indices. I think that is a great touch that you don't see on a lot of the bigger brands, but micro brands like HELM have that great attention to detail, which I always like to see. It is a sapphire crystal here that is domed. Water resistance is 200 meters, and it is ISO compliant. And again, that bezel insert is also sapphire crystal. So a lot of really great specs on this watch. Speaking of the bezel, let's get a little of that action here before we go even further. I do have to admit that it is a little tight, but I think hopefully that'll loosen up a little bit. It's not impossible to turn. Feels like 120 click bezel, but a little tight right out of the box. I do want to take this NATO strap off that it comes on and get a quick look at the screwed down case back that is here. If I can pull this out. Nice big spring bars, as you can see, and they do have drilled lugs, But I really enjoy this case back that is here. Got the HELM logo right in the center, and then what looks like kind of a wave pattern going around underneath that logo, and that actually happens to match the center portion of this dial right here. So that same wave type pattern comes in on the dial also. So let's talk about the dial a little bit. I think it is a somewhat unique dial. I'm not sure how I really feel about it, if I am fully into it or not at this point. I think the numerals, the 12, 3, and 6, and 9 are what I'm not sure about. I might have maybe preferred the watch just to have the same indices all the way around rather than the numerals. I'm not sure if that's what's kind of throwing me off or not, but I don't think it looks bad in any way. These indices are nicely applied. As you can see, they have a nice depth to them, and they are all filled with lume, so we'll get a lume shot here in a moment. But the hands also look great. Nice tip, red tip to that second hand, as you can see, running along there, and I think the hands reach out to a good point on the dial respectively. So let me throw this on the wrist here in a second. Before I do that, let's get some dimensions. Let's do that first, and we'll see what we're dealing with this watch right here. All right, let's start with the case diameter. Looking around 41.3 or so as I'm measuring it right there. Case thickness to the top of the crystal, 13.2. Let's get the lug tip to lug tip distance as well, 48. And then the lug opening here is 22 millimeters. All right, that NATO strap is a little bit tight, and the tolerances there between the spring bar and the case are quite thin, so that can be hard to pull off, but you just pop out the spring bars. That'll make it a lot easier for you to change the strap. All right, there it is on my 6.5-inch wrist. I'm not normally a NATO person, but this NATO strap seems to be very high quality, and even on the NATO it sits really nicely on the wrist. I'm not going to mess with the bracelet since it's not my watch, but we'll take a peek at the bracelet off of the watch here in a moment. But on the NATO strap, feels pretty good for me. And here is a quick lume shot after charging it up with my UV flashlight. I am impressed by the lume here all over the place on the bezel. As you can see, really healthy application on the indices and hands all around on this watch. It's a Swiss Super Luminova. I'm not sure the grade or anything on that, but it's looking like they applied quite a few coats, so looking good. All right, I'll just show you the bracelet here just briefly. You can see that it is a push button clasp here, and it is milled, and you can see the clasp is signed as well. Only a couple points of micro adjustment there, and you can see that the sides of the links are polished and they are screwed pins, solid end links right there, and everything looks good. I mean, it seems like a nice solid bracelet, and I'm sure this will look good on that watch. I probably would wear it on the bracelet myself if this was my watch, but it's nice that they give you a bracelet and a strap when you purchase this watch right here, the HELM Miyako. This is the slate gray version. I believe they have a navy blue dial color as well. The price of this watch is $375 from HELM. I personally think that is a fair price for what you're getting with this watch. So let me just quickly share some of my likes and dislikes about this piece right here. Man, I am impressed by HELM's build quality. I've heard that over the years about these watches, and now having one in hand, these are some really high quality and well finished watches for the money. If you can snag one of these, I think you'd be making a pretty good purchase. I didn't talk much about the crown. But I like the shape of this crown. Kind of has somewhat of an onion shape. Maybe that's not the right one, but it kind of slopes inward, and I like that look, and it works great. It is signed and screwed down, so I like the crown on this watch as well. It's nice and large. And speaking of that, let's just get a quick dimension on how large it is at the largest point. It's about 6.8 millimeters right there, but I think it looks great, and it's really nice, again, to have a strap and a bracelet included with your purchase, so I like that as well. The bezel is one of my dislikes, not the looks of it or anything, but just the action of it was a little bit tight, so I'm hoping that as Chris uses this watch, that bezel will loosen up a little bit. And then personally, I'm not sure I'm the biggest fan of the numerals on the dial of this dive watch. I think I might have preferred just to have indices all the way around, but that's definitely a personal preference thing. What do you guys think about this HELM Miyako? Share all your thoughts, any questions that you might have down in the comments below. I'm sure I missed something in this quick overview video, but please do interact down in the comments. Always appreciate that. Big shout out to Chris again for letting me take a peek at his watch. I really appreciate that. Please give this video a like if you liked it. That really helps out the channel. We really appreciate that. And thank you for stopping by to this video today. That's it for this one. We'll see you next time here on the Town Watch.